also via Skype. Each one of you is welcome to this live streaming from our studios in Trinidad. Sutras of Vigyan Bhairav Tantra, the same series, The Man with an Inexplicable Life. This word inexplicable is unique. It has a prefix. In means not. Inexplicable comes from a Latin root which means something which is unraveled, so there are two negatives. Not unfolded. It cannot be explained in an ordinary manner. The life of a seeker is always inexplicable because there are so many things that happen in such a mysterious way which cannot be explained in any ordinary way. If you look into your life, how you came into a spiritual fold or in connection, in contact with an awakened one or a master or a sheikh, each one has an inexplicable story. You cannot put into the words. Nobody will believe it that it happened that way. So that is why this is an inexplicable life of a man who is seeker, who is along the path, and in that situation he is guided moment to moment by in a mysterious way, because you remember that the moment an individual becomes awakened, it is like drop merged into the ocean. So before that, drop and the ocean has separate identities. The moment drop merges into the ocean, it becomes oceanic. It gets the quality of the ocean. Whatever ocean has, it lends its quality to the drop. So this is where the Sufis use two terms, fana and baka. Fana means the process of drop merging into ocean. This is the first and the foremost thing. The first it has to happen. Then ocean lends its qualities to the drop, that is baka. And so mysteriously he is helped. I had mentioned you the story of certain people, how they came into the fold, how they have visions, dreams of meeting. So the masters who are an embodiment of the unknown and unknowable guide in mysterious ways. So their story has two persons. One is Mawjood. Mawjood means one who is available to the moment. You are in the market waiting to get something. There are drinks are available. There is no thinking whether this I should buy or that. You are able to make the decision instantaneously. That means available to the moment, Mawjood. So the man who has an inexplicable life is Mawjood. And how he is guided mysteriously by the friend of the person, that is in Sufi terminology, this character or this is known as Khizr alayhi salam. Alayhi salam is a word used in Sufi terminology as a matter of respect for the person. We say Salam Alaikum, or any with the master we use that God is in agreement with that person. So once there was a man named Mawjood who was available to the moment. He lived in the town where he had obtained a post. This is the story of everyone. Everyone has a job and a job that he can take. It seemed that if he had continued in that job, he would have retired as an inspector, the highest position. You are working in an office, you may get promoted, and by the time you reach the age of retirement, you will reach the highest position. So this was the story of the man who was working as a official, a small official, and it seemed that he will retire as an inspector. One day it happened while he was walking through the gardens of the ancient building near his home. This is how it happens if you look into the story. You found yourself in the dense forest. All of a sudden you see a mysterious man or a woman coming to you. You ask him, what is your name? He tells you. It is an indication of something what is going to happen to you in the future. So he was walking through the garden of an ancient building near his home. Khidr, the mysterious guide of the Sufis, appeared to him, and whenever he is appearing, it has to be a particular way. So because he is a Sufi character, Sufis use green as a symbol. Green means symbol of that is, the greenery appeals to the human eye. Everywhere it is. So in a shimmering green color outfit, he was dressed in shimmering green. Khidr said, man of bright prospects, addresses him that. So this is why when an individual comes to the master, master addresses him not because of his potentiality, not because of his possibility, but what this possibility will turn into to be in future. Oh, great man. He is not great as yet, but he addresses him great man. He said, oh man of bright prospects, leave your job, leave your work and meet me at the riverside in 3 days' time. And he disappeared. People will find you crazy that you have left your job, which has guaranteed you a particular kind of income. You don't know what this man is going to do to you. What is your future going to be? But he trusts the man. That is why it is the story of an inexplicable man. I mentioned to you the story, the anecdote that happened with one of our friends, Abdul Ghani. He was feeling something from within. He went to the shrine of Jalaluddin Rumi in Konya. He meditated. He had a strong feeling that he must meet the master. As he came out, a woman, a white woman with red hair, came running to him and said, I don't know why I am attracted to you, but I have to give you a message. You go and meet Sheikh Nazim. And then woman disappeared in the thin air. So things like that happened. Khidr said, man of bright prospects, leave your work and meet me at the riverside in 3 days' time, and disappeared. Mawjood went to his superiors where he was working, and he said he had to leave. He had to resign the work. Everyone in the town soon heard of this, and they said that poor Mawjood, the man has become mad. Don't know what he's going to do. This is what happens with all those people who are along the path, who want to follow the path, which have no set. It is not a thoroughfare, it is not a highway. As you walk, you create your own path. So, thought that the man has become mad, but there were many candidates, many other people who were looking for the job, so there was no problem with the employer. He leaves the job, I'll get someone else. But this man looks like mad. He is leaving a set job where he has a prospect of reaching to the higher position. So soon he left the job, and soon everybody forgot him. On the appointed day, Mawjud met Khizr, who said to him, "Tear your clothes and throw yourself into the stream. Perhaps someone may save you." Now, unless there is a trust in you for the unknown and unknowable, you cannot do these kind of things there. Or if you are not mad, you will not do things like tear away your clothes and throw yourself in the stream. Knowingly you are going into the danger, and Khizr says, perhaps someone may save you. Mawjud did so without a single thought, without any doubt in his mind, even though he wondered if he had gotten mad. This is the story of each one of you. And if you look deep into, was I mad that I was following this man without a sense? Everybody told me not to follow this man. He is interested in this, he is interested in that, he will take away your money, he will do this and that. Since he could swim, so he thought that he will not drown, but he drifted a long way. Before a fisherman saw him and hauled him into his boat, saying, "O foolish man, the current is so strong. What are you trying to do?" Mawjud said, "I really do not know." This is the story of the seeker who is on the path or who has been chosen. I don't know what I am doing. Why am I doing it? But there is something that irresistible that I cannot hold on. I cannot stop. People may think I am mad. So you are mad, said the fisherman, but I will take you to my reed hut. The fisherman was a small man, and normally the fisherman stays by the side of the river because the boat is there. So on the bank of the river or nearby in a reed hut or a small place, and I shall see that what can be done for you. And the Mawjud said that there you throw yourself into the stream nearby, maybe someone may save you. And what happened? The boatman comes and he says, first he says, "You seem to be crazy, mad. The current is strong, and what are you going to do?" When he discovered that Mawjud was well spoken, he learned from him how to read and write. So the fisherman learned from him how to read and write. In exchange, Mawjud was given a livelihood, food and shelter, and at the same time Mawjud helped the fisherman with his work. After a few months, you are trying to settle, but Khizr again comes in and tries to unsettle you. This is the way you grow into trust, because trust is the most important aspect of an individual's inner life. Without trust in unknown, trust does not mean in the known. Trust is the faculty, you must trust the unknown and unknowable. You don't know what is going to happen next moment. And if you have a trust, God will save you. I don't know where does my next meal comes from, but the trust is, I am not a rich person running the business. There are many situations the market situation, the rising prices all over, and yet still there is a trust that I will be taken care of whenever the need arises. So the few months after the Mawjood again appeared, first time he met him in the woods. This is how it important. In the woods, in a distant place, in a lonely place. But this time Mawjood was sleeping on the bed. He appears to him at the bed, at the end of the bed, by his foot, stood up, so that if you stand up in front of a person by his feet, the person, the moment his eyes open, he can see you. If you are standing by his head, which ego feels that why should I stand up by his feet? I must stand up by his head. So when you wake up, you cannot see. You can only see one who is in front of you. If the man is standing by your feet side, you will clearly be able to see him. So he saw Mawjood and he said, get up and leave the fisherman, you will be provided. First he told him to leave the job. Then he says, and then throw yourself in the stream, maybe someone may save you. Now he says that leave the fisherman, you will be provided for. Mawjood took no time. Immediately he quit the hut, dressed as a fisherman, and wandered about until he came to the highway. He left the hut, dressed as a fisherman, and wandered about until what is going to happen, until he reached on the highway. As the dawn was breaking, he saw a farmer on a donkey on his way to the market. The man asked, do you seek work? Are you looking for work? The farmer said, because I am in need of a man to help me bring back some purchases. I am going to the market to buy something because I do trading. So I am in search of a work. Are you looking for work? And Khizr said, you will be provided. So Mawjood followed him, worked for the farmer for nearly 2 years, by which time he learned the great deal about agriculture, the marketing, business, and many things. So the thing, trust does not allow you to settle in one particular thing. So the moment you excel in one field, you leave that and you go into the other. So Mawjood followed him, worked with the farmer for nearly 2 years. By that time he learned a great deal. He became an expert into the dealing with the agriculture and market forces. So one afternoon, when Mawjood was baling wool, the man was dealing in wool, so the cotton, so he was making the bales of it or packing them. Khizr appeared to him and said, leave the work and walk to the city of Mosul and use your savings to become a skin merchant. All kind of crazy things. He had a settled job, tells him to leave the job and meet me in 3 days' time. Don't know what is going to happen if I leave my job. How will I be provided for? Whether I will get how will I take care of my family? But the trust is there. The story is that of a trust, and that you have to walk through your. So and use your saving to become a skin merchant. Mawjud again obeyed. In Mosul, he became known as a skin merchant. Never seeing Khizr again, while he piled up the trade for 3 years, he had saved quite a lot of money and was thinking of buying a house, trying to settle, when Khizr appeared to him again. At the point when you are trying to settle, he comes to unsettle you. You are trying to settle in a particular thing and the master comes and tries to unsettle you. The doubt comes in your mind. But if the trust is there, doubt never arises. So give up your money and walk to this town as far as the distant Samarkand and work for a grocer there. He was trying to settle, he had accumulated a lot of money, he was ready to buy a house and dwelling and everything. And then he says that they leave all that and go to Samarkand and work for a grocer without a hesitation, a doubt, a single doubt. Many times when things like that happen in your life, your trust is shaken. You say, what this man is doing to me, what he is interested in me. But Mawjud did not. So he did so. Presently he began to show undoubted signs of illumination, awakening. He healed the sick, served his fellow men in the shop during his spare time, and his knowledge of the mysterious became deeper and deeper. So what happens that? I am in the field of business as a part of my living. And there someone calls with a question, next one wants something else. So the work goes on for that. So it is that you are doing the God's work and God is doing your work mysteriously. You are working for the process of transformation of human consciousness, which is the divine work. The unknown and mysteriously your work is being taken care of. So he started working as a grocer. During his spare time, he healed the people, he served the fellow men, and he had the knowledge of the mysterious, and that became deeper and deeper. Clerics, philosophers, and others visited him and asked him, "Under whom did you study? Who is your master? That I am seeing a transformation in you. You are not the same person that you used to be. You are more compassionate. You are not getting angry the way you used to be. You are not behaving the way you used to be. What is all this secret? Where did you learn from? And who is your master?" Mawjud said, "It is difficult to say." His disciples asked, "How did you start your life?" He said, "I started as a small official, and you gave it up to devote yourself for self-mortification, for self-work." "No, I just gave it up." So you give up something for something greater. But Mawjud did not give up his job that he was having for another job. There was no job for him, but he left it. He left the job. So he said, "Did you leave the job for self-mortification?" "No, I just gave it up." They did not understand him. No one can understand him. Why you did that? You leave your set job where you could have been promoted, and all of a sudden you decided that you want to quit it. People approached him and asked him to write his life story. What have you been in your life? They asked. Maujud narrated his story. I jumped into the river, became a fisherman. I was working in the department of weights. I would have been retired as an inspector. I leave the job without any prospect of another source of livelihood. I jumped into the river, became a fisherman, then walked out of his reed hut in the middle of the night. After that, I became a farmer hand. While I was baling out the wool, I changed and went to Mosul, where I became a skin merchant. I earned money, saved a lot of money there, then gave it away. Then I walked to Samarkand, where I am working, where I worked as a grocer, and this is where I am now. But this inexplicable behavior, something that you cannot put into the words, it comes from the two words in means not, and explicable means that cannot be explained, two negatives. So the life of a seeker cannot be explained to anyone. Nobody will understand why this man is behaving. All of a sudden you are in the woods and you see a man and you ask him the name and he tells you name, and then eventually that person becomes that same name you meet. You never thought that you will meet this person with this name, or someone tells you a story about the man, but mysteriously things happen. But this inexplicable behavior throws no light upon your strange gifts and wonderful examples. Your behavior has been inexplicable, but your life says something else. Your life manifests as if the dawn has come in. You are seeing the sun has risen on the horizon. The sky is red. Everything is changed in you, but there is no connection between your inexplicable behavior, that you met this, you did this, and all of a sudden you went to meet someone, you're returning home. From there, you had a vision, you have a dream, you cried, you did this thing and that. The people told you something good and something bad about the man. All these things, this is so. Maujud said, this is how my life is, this is so. So the biographers constructed for Maujud a wonderful and exciting story, as normally happens, because all the saints must have all the people who are along the path, they have an inexplicable, mysterious story, and the story must be in accordance with the appetite of the listener. But nobody is allowed to speak to Khizr alayhi salam directly. You cannot speak to the master directly. So it happens in many mysterious ways. That is why this story is not true. And this is a story which hangs around your consciousness. Things happen in a mysterious way. So this is a way to explain to you what actually happens, but each one of you who is along the path will have his own mysterious, inexplicable story, how you met this man. Someone sees a book available, buys a book, reads it, and that becomes his way of knowing. Someone saw something on the social media, he finds a doubt comes to his mind whether this man is false or true. He decides to write a letter. He writes a letter thinking that if he is genuine, he will answer me. If not, He will not answer, and there is no harm in writing him. He writes a letter, gets a response immediately. Life transforms. So everyone has his own story, and this is the real life of each person who is along the spiritual path. Only this much for this morning. Until we meet again, take care and do have a pleasant day.